In this video, we're going to look at the IO Solar Return Interpreter. Very popular for good reason. I already have my IO interpreter open, and my solar return will be found under the Returns drop-down menu at the top of the screen. Now, I always recommend leaving your library window open when you quit the program. You're always going to be using it, and it shows you that the program is actually open. Now, let's begin looking at the program. If you have someone already saved in your charts that you wish to create a solar return for, you can simply find them in the list, click on their name, go up to the top of your screen to Returns, select Solar Return, and you note that the name that I've selected, Barbara Streisand, is the name that we are producing a report for. If I want to choose someone else, I click her name, Donna Summer, hold down, drag her over into the left setup window and let go, and there we have Donna Summer. Now, suppose you don't have a chart saved for a natal chart saved for the individual for whom you want to create the report. We go up to File at the top of the screen and select New Chart, or you can use the keyboard Command N. See, Command N, and we open the chart data card. If you've not used our programs before and not familiar with these, this is where all of your information starts. You select the type of chart, and then the interpreter. This interpreter, you can create a natal chart, an event chart, or a sunrise chart. And obviously an event chart is not appropriate, so it'd be either natal chart or a sunrise chart, which is what you can use if you don't know the birth time. Then we'd select the zodiac system. Tropical is the default. You can choose sidereal if you want. House system. Placidus is the default unless you change your preference setting, which you can do, but you can choose any of these house systems. We'll stick with Placidus. Now let's enter the data for the individual. A first name is not required. A last name is required, but we're going to put a first name in here. We'll call him Eddie Test. Now I'm using the tab button to move from field to field, not just because it follows me through a logical sequence, but I'll show you why. June. I can enter the date as such, or I can just enter 06 space the date 23 space the year. This would be the year of birth. So let's do 2010. The time 11 space 08, that's the hour, the minute, and then AM or PM. You do not enter the time zone. The program will do that for you, and it will do it correctly. Tab button, and you see the date and the time were formatted when I hit the tab button. The city, let's put him in London, and obviously that's not a state in the US, so it's the country, England. And then I click the Atlas button. I've told the program what type of chart, who it's for, the date, the time, and the location. Click the Atlas button. If there were only one location choice here, it would automatically be entered in the data card. But if you have more than one choice, as we do here, London or London Colney, you click the one you want. In this case it's London, it's already highlighted. So I click Insert, and there I have a completed card. I have the universal date and time, I have the longitude and latitude, and I have the time zone. So now I can save this. You'd want the chart file that you've created for whatever purposes, friends, family, whatever. You want that one, the one that's opened and at the front. In this case, we'll still add it to example charts. We'll click Save, and there we have Test Eddie. Alright, now we want to get him into the solar return setup window. Two ways to do it. I can either pull his name from the list, as I said, into the left window where it says natal chart. There we have Eddie. Now let's put someone else in there just for the time being. Or if I haven't saved his card, maybe don't want to save his card, I can go to the data card, and you see I put my cursor in a space where there's no text. It becomes a hand with a blue sheet behind it. I click down and hold down and drag it over to the left window, let go, and there we have Eddie. Now, selecting the date and time, the program automatically will know when the solar return occurs for the individual for the particular year that you've selected. So all you have to do is select the year that you want to run the solar return for. Backwards, down to 15, 2015, 2016, 17, and so forth. You want to enter the location where the individual will be when their solar return occurs. So let's put him in, how about Pacific Palisades. Oops. California, just the abbreviation. Click the Atlas button. Pacific State Hospital, Pacific Villas. Guess what? I misspelled. So we go back and we fix that. We cancel this. Let's try it again. There we go. With the proper spelling, we get the right city. And we click Insert. And it puts in the proper longitude and latitude for this person being in Pacific Palisades for their solar return. Then we select the sections that we want to include. Introduction, planetary introductions, aspects. Aspects, of course, you're probably always going to want. The introductions, depending on the knowledge of the individual for whom you're preparing the order. And one last step here that we can look at, the editable button. Now, individual reports are editable, and we'll go over that in just a few minutes. But if you want to eventually edit the database that actually creates the interpretation, excuse me, you can edit the text of that. You simply click this editable button. It asks you if you'd like to create an AstroText folder, and you do. Now, in your documents, your IO files folder, there will be an AstroText solar return folder that you can go in and edit with your own text, make whatever modifications to that text you wish. Alright, next step is easy. Click Interpret, and there's our interpretation. Now let's look at this page for a minute. Now, interpretation, obviously, you scroll down to read the interpretation. The buttons across the top, each one is a set of formats of the fonts and so on, the layout, the colors, and etc. And you can modify any one of these. They're preset right now. You can make changes to them, whatever you want. For example, you can select the header font for the paragraph headers and so on, the size and color of it, the body font. You simply click and choose the font that you want, and you can experiment with this. Then the size of the font, and again the color. Do you want the lines justified or not? That means that it's squared off, basically, if you're not familiar with the term justified. And then the glyph font. IO Wizardry font set comes with the program, and you see you can select WizCali, WizGeo, and so on. If you've purchased the Pendragon fonts, you can select among those. They're listed just above it. Again, you can choose the size and the color. You can choose the background color for a page. Just click on it, and there, select your colors, and there's several ways to do that right along the top. Suggestion, if you're going to print a report, you don't want a colored background, or you're going to be using printer cartridge after printer cartridge fast. If you're going to just email it, then you can do whatever you want with the colored backgrounds and the colored fonts and so on. You can set your margins by inches, centimeters, or points. You can determine whether you want a cover page. There's a cover page included in this. Whether you want the zodiac shown and the prepared by, that information. Now this would be your information, of course, not ours. And then you just click OK. So that button does that. Now there are other things that you can select for these in the preferences, including some of the color selections and so on. That will be in another video. Now, we do not include a chart wheel because some astrologers don't want to include a chart wheel with the report. It may confuse people. So it's a separate entity. Now click on your card again or on your window and go up to Designs, down to Cover Pages, Solar Return Cover Page. Click, and there we have Eddy Test. This is a solar return chart. This is, whoops, we swapped them. This is his natal chart actually. Let's click back. Let's swap them. There we go. Now we have his solar return chart here and natal chart. So we want to save his solar return chart. And we can save this. The most logical way to save both the report and the chart are as PDFs. They're the best thing to email to someone because they can be read on just about any device. It doesn't matter if it's Windows, it doesn't matter what it is. So click the page that you're trying to save, go up to File at the top of your screen, select Print. At the bottom left hand corner you see PDF. Now if you have a POP account, and the only way to really know at this stage is to test it, you can mail directly from the program, but most people will save it as a PDF file. So save as PDF, opens a window. You can change the name. Let's call it Eddie's Solar Return Chart, and then determine where you want to save it. The desktop, so you can grab it easily. You could create a folder in your documents. You could just put it into your documents. You can put it wherever you want. We'll save this to the desktop. We simply click Save, and you see here it appears on my desktop. Click it. There's the chart wheel and preview. Quit that. You can do the same exact thing with the report itself. Go to File, Print, PDF, save as PDF. The name, change it if you wish. Save it to the desktop. And there we go. Now let's assume you want to edit the individual report. Maybe you want to personalize it a bit more, or maybe you want to add something to it. Then you can grab that report, click on that page, go to Save, window opens with the title, of course, and there are types that you can save in: rich text format, text, HTML if you're putting it on the web, or Microsoft Word, which is readable by nearly any good word processing program, including Pages. If you save as rich text or as Word, it will hold the formatting, meaning the paragraph styles, the bolds, and everything else. So that's how you want to save it. So we'll save this one as Microsoft Word, and we'll save that to the desktop too. And there we have an editable version that we can open in whatever word processing program you want. Do whatever you want with it. You can add graphics, you could do whatever you choose. The program is very simple to use. The text is absolutely wonderful. Mary Fortier-Shea worked with us on the development of this program and did an excellent job. She's a counseling astrologer, so she knows how to talk to people and give them the information that they need. So that's our solar return program. Easy to use. Within a matter of minutes, you can produce a report for anyone, anywhere in the world. That's it. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the program.